If you have been a long-time Bert Show listener, there might be some stuff that's gone on in the show where you're like, you know what? I never found out what happened at the end of that or what has happened since. So on Thursdays, we call them Follow-Up Thursdays. You email us at thebertshow.com and remind us of what happened on the show maybe months, if not years ago, that you never got closure on. And in this case, Amelia hits us up and she says, Bert Show, I am dying to know what happened about a year ago to the woman whose husband prioritized his mother on his wedding anniversary and every other day of the year. And the wife was making lasagnas on her anniversary for her party. I believe he also sent flowers to mom during the War of the Roses. She ended up packing up and taking off for a couple of days, last we heard, to get some attention from him. And Amelia says, I'm guessing it'll be a sad update. Love the show. All right, so for those that didn't hear it.
Yes, here's our recap. Annie wanted us to do our War of the Roses, where we'd offer her husband free roses to send to anyone he wanted, but she wasn't worried about him cheating. She wanted to know if he'd send them to her for their anniversary or to his mother for her birthday. Annie called her husband a mama's boy and called their relationship unhealthy. Annie and her husband only live a couple streets away from his parents. They go to their house every single Sunday night for dinner. If his mom rides with them anywhere in the car, she sits in the front with her son. He sees her almost daily and drops everything if his mom needs something. So we did War of the Roses, and he sent flowers, ... to his mother, saying on the note on the card, Mom, hope you have the best day ever. You deserve it. We love and appreciate you every day. Love, Thomas. A few days later, we talked to Annie on the morning of their 10th anniversary. He hadn't done squat for her. Her mother-in-law wanted to have her birthday party that night, the same day as her anniversary, which again was the same day as her anniversary. He even asked his wife to make a cake for her mother-in-law for her birthday. And her sister-in-law asked if she'd make not one, but 2 lasagnas. A couple weeks later, we checked in to see what Annie did. Annie called herself an enabler. Their 10th anniversary came and went with very little acknowledgement at all. She got one text from him that afternoon. That's it. For 10 years of marriage, Annie bought herself flowers. Annie did pick up a cake for her mother-in-law, and she did make the 2 lasagnas that her sister-in-law asked her to make. They had a big celebration for her mother-in-law's birthday. Now, the last time we checked in with Annie, she said, I hit rock bottom. Annie got dramatic. She packed a bag, bought a last-minute plane ticket, and parked herself on the beach. When she didn't return home that evening, her husband started texting her, asking where she was. So she told him. Annie told him that they never celebrated their anniversary. And since he didn't see much value in celebrating her and their marriage, she decided to do it alone. Annie's husband was shocked, and he was angry. It ultimately led to a very late, tear-filled phone call and him flying to meet her the next day. After 3 months, things were 100 times better between them. He started making her a priority. They had been going on regular date nights and skipping most Sunday night dinners at his mom's. So, has her husband kept it up, or did he slip back into being a mama's boy?
Who's got the update?
Me.
All right.
Hi, Bert Show.
Hey.
It's so good to hear from you guys.
Thanks.
I can't believe you're still interested in my story.
We've gotten so many emails about you.
I feel like you guys must have been sick of me back when it was all happening. Not at all.
Mm-mm.
Well, to tell you what's going on now and give you an update. Things are great. Things really, really turned around. He started to see exactly what my issue was and how he had always been putting his mother first. He said that he could see how I would feel neglected. Things got better almost immediately. However, I didn't want to take that for granted and just assume everything is fixed. So even though we both felt like we were in a better place, we still went to counseling. Good for you.
Yes.
Seriously.
We found a fantastic marriage counselor. She not only helped us work through this one issue, but several others. So I can honestly say my marriage is in better shape than it's ever been. I would marry him all over again today. The only person that seemed less than happy with all of this is, of course, my mother-in-law. There were a few instances where she seemed to throw a bit of a temper tantrum. I was proud of my husband for not giving in. Luckily, we don't see her as often as we used to. So thanks for checking in, and just know that everything here is fantastic. Do you guys think that she died and wrote this email from heaven? It's too good.
This is pretty awesome right here. And I feel for the women that have to constantly compete with their mother-in-laws. Man, I feel like we get these once a week. It's got to be such a strain on the relation for everybody.
It's exhausting. It's frustrating. And at the end of the day, it's just not fair. Like, you shouldn't have to do that.
She had to do something so drastic, like go on a trip by herself to get him to really notice it. But he did. So it ended up being a good ending.
You could almost tell in the previous, like when you were recapping it, because I didn't quite remember all those details. The fact that dude flew out there and really showed that we've had a lot of guys on the show that would have gone, nah, that was it. didn't show up, waited for her to come home. She was just having another adult temper tantrum and didn't do anything about it. This guy got freaked out. Oh my God. And it ended up being their relationship being a whole hell of a lot better.
She's like the perfect person. She made a cake and picked up a cake and made 2 lasagnas for her mother-in-law on her 10th wedding anniversary.
Thanks.
This one's a keeper, and he knew that.
Yeah, he messed up. It's just a bummer that like we keep having these stories where the women have to fully leave, empty the apartment, leave, disappear, like end up at the beach, whatever, for the men to be like, oh, I messed up. Like, why does it take that much?
I coined this phrase a long time ago. Sometimes you don't know what you got until it's gone.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, it was my song.
That was a decent one.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good song.
People have been using it since, but it's true.
The Bert Show.